Good morning, everyone. This is my walk and talk whiteness part 3. I'm not actually walking to work today. I have the day off, so I'm just going to be walking and talking. I also thought that maybe I would be a little bit more engaging with folks who are watching this morning. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you want me to speak more on something or differently or whatever, just let me know. I'd love to have a more interactive conversation this morning with folks. I'm also willing to bring you on the screen with me and we can chat that way too. So good morning, everyone. I can see that there's some folks on, but I don't know who you are. You want to say hello? You're like me, I just like to watch. So I'll just go ahead and get started, I guess. I was trying to figure out where I should start today. Yesterday I left off having left Chicago and then coming to San Francisco. But there were a couple other, I guess, stories or things that had come to mind that I thought, that I guess I missed along the way that I wanted to share as well. Just because I feel like a lot of what this is doing is to try to just, I guess, what is it that I'm trying to do? Hi, Adam. How's it going? Trying to just give like a little bit more of a overall experience for me and my understanding of things. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up, because I feel like so much of my talk has been kind of the more not so great things that have kind of like that I was unaware of, and I started to notice that there might be something more going on than what I could understand, I guess. And I remember there was one situation. So I grew up, as you all know, I'm from Idaho, and when I was in my early 20s, I was a little party rave kid, did ecstasy, went to clubs. I was like trying to deal with like being gay and being HIV positive and living in Boise, Idaho. And just I really had a hard time with that. And I remember I had this job at this comedy club and the Funny Bone. And I remember one day I came in and I was like, it was like the next day or whatever, and I had like glitter left on from the night before from like raving or whatever. I was a little less intentional with my glitter at times when I was younger. And I remember some of the guys there, because I was like I think I was the only queer person there. And I remember some of the guys were teasing me, and they were giving me shit because I had glitter on my face, and I really didn't know like how to handle it. And so I was I know I could kind of probably look like I was a little like really uncomfortable. And I remember my boss at the time, Brian Lee, he's one of my like favorite people. But anyway, he saw these guys making fun of me for wearing glitter. So of course, I had glitter in my pocket. I had glitter with me. And he made every person at work wear glitter that night. Everyone who was working had to wear glitter. And it was just such a cool experience. And this man was a black straight man. And in a lot of ways, that was, I guess, a very unexpected gesture for anyone, but I think especially in that particular moment. I mean, I still value that moment as one of the more, I just never felt so seen and cared for in a time when I really didn't feel, I felt really not comfortable with a lot of things. Hi Liz, hi Colin, hi, I think Sergio, Peter, are you still there? Do you guys have question or comment? Peter, do you want to come on? Anyone? Let me know and I can bring you onto the camera. I don't have as much of a flow this morning. Thought I would just have more of a conversation with folks if they're willing. No interactions. Let me see if I can come up with some more. I guess a little bit of, I'm just trying to really figure out where I should start with all of this. I've had some interesting response. Hey, Peter, I don't care if you haven't had your coffee, you can still come on. I think I've only had like one cup, so I'm barely running myself. But I've had some really interesting responses in just doing this. I mean, I think for myself, it's been really helpful just to just look and to kind of understand where I come from. And I think it's allowed me to have a little bit more empathy for folks who haven't had the same opportunities that I've had. And I don't know, just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I've had people contact me and be very mad about the things that I've said about the way I saw things, the way I saw myself from where I grew up back home. Maybe that there's this belief that somehow I'm like better than where I come from, or that I have some sort of shame from where I come from. And I think one of the things that's really important to understand is that I've been sharing from my point of view at that time of my life and my understanding or lack of understanding of things at that time. And to be honest, I have a really complicated relationship with where I come from. And not in a sense of like better than or less than, or just, it's just a world and a place in which I couldn't exist. And I've gotten the opportunity to go other places and exist differently. And I think sometimes people perceive that as me feeling like I'm better than somebody else, or like, I don't know, whatever. And I feel like there's probably moments where I've thought that, if I'm just honest. I've wanted to have a different experience than where I came from. I wasn't happy with the life that I was living then and what I felt like was the opportunities around me. So yeah, I left. And yeah, I'm having a different experience. But as far as values or value statements or that sort of thing, I don't have any issues with where I come from. I love it because it's created me into being the person I am today. It's allowed me, I think, to be more empathetic in different situations and different things like that. So, so I've had some folks who, have had a hard time hearing some of that stuff. I would never call myself white trash or my family, so I do want to make that clear. That was my statement, that other people have said that and thought that about us. It's not my feelings. That's not how I see my family, nor myself, or any of the people from back home. The other thing I wanted to share too is I've had a lot of folks, honestly, I've been more worried about how saying some of these things are gonna impact my friends that are people of color. Some of the things that I'm sharing, I feel like embarrassed about, and I feel like it's harmful. Like I feel like it's hurtful for people to hear that. And so that's like the last thing I'd want to happen with this process. But that's also been a different experience for me too, at least with who's talked with me. They've encouraged me to continue to sharing it and to speak my truth, and reached out to me and shared how much I've meant to them in their life. And I don't know what the overall reason, like, I just can't not talk about this stuff right now. It's in my dreams, it's in my therapy sessions, it's in my conversations at work, and it's just something that I can't let go of. And I can't believe I ever could not be more active. And so I've always felt so powerless. I always was so blind, like I didn't see color, and I thought that was a good thing at moments in my life, which is awful. But that's where I was. And somehow I thought that was a good thing, because if I just saw you the same, then we were cute. It was all good. But the truth is if I didn't see that you were different, then I didn't really see you. And it's so like, I try not to make this about me, but maybe it is. But like, all I've ever wanted is for people to really truly know me, and not to stereotype me, and not to put me in a box, and not to tell me all these sorts of things about myself that may or may not be true, or even me myself putting myself in my own boxes and my own identities. I guess in a way to try to signal the type of person I am, or whatever. Where am I at with all this? Just trying to think of what to talk about. Hi, David. Hi, Audrey. Any thoughts or questions? I don't want to walk through people's yard. Got a quiet bunch today. The day that I'm actually able to pay attention and respond to people. Let's see. So one of the things I'm a little more nervous even talking about some of the more recent, I guess, acknowledgements or experiences that I've had around racism and race. And also, a lot of the times there's so many like intersections to all this. There's gender, there's age, there's, so many other kind of elements in some aspects. But coming to San Francisco, I knew I was going to be around less people of color, which I was, I felt like that was like my least favorite thing about coming to San Francisco, other than the weather. I hate the weather, which those are very exclusive things. But one of the jobs that I've had, we actually had issues around racism and kind of around non-cisness, I guess. And kind of like being in a space, in a situation that feeling really powerless, and also feeling like being in this in-between place. In a lot of ways, actually, I'm still kind of processing it. But being in a group of people where people of color are saying people are being racist, people are doing racist things, folks who are trans, who are having horrible experiences with supervisors and whatnots, and microaggressions and all these sorts of things, and me being kind of in the middle of it all, and not really knowing my power, but also like, it's always I think been a little bit interesting dynamic to figure out like my place and not my place in those situations. I've been with friends who've been very clear about like, don't like stand up for me, don't say anything for me, like I can speak for myself. And then I've had situations where, maybe I could have intervened or should have intervened. And I think that's just where it's like, for me, that's like the best thing that I can continue to do, just like with anything in my life that I want to be good at, is to be really intentional, keep myself in a good place, my heart in a good place, my spirit in a good place, so that when situations and circumstances come up, I'll know exactly what I need to do, and fear won't take over. Fear of doing the wrong thing, fear of hurting somebody's feelings, fear of not doing enough, fear of what will other people think, whatever that bullshit is that I often let me get in the way of taking right action. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Philip. Does anyone want to come on this call with me? Say something, share something? No? As I might have mentioned this earlier, but I'm not working today, so I'm just kind of walking so that I can talk. Masterclass. You're sweet, Lewis. I really appreciate, you've inspired me to do this, actually, Lewis, with all your agenda stuff. And I think you had a moment where you said, everybody should be doing this. Like, this is a way that we can connect or what have you. And it's definitely been a really nice thing. It's felt like I'm connecting with people, and honestly, like I'm connecting with people in a way that matters. I think so many times I struggle with people in situations because I feel like there's like, we're not talking about shit that really matters, and it's hard to find people who want to talk about that stuff, who want to be challenged about that sort of stuff. So this is actually a great way, because people are watching who want to watch. People are communicating if they want to communicate, and if they don't, they don't. You know, and so that's really cool. And one of the things I've really been thinking about is, the big thing that's really formed me is like all of the beautiful people, the variety of people in my life, many of which have been people of color who have they've loved me and they've accepted me, and they've in a lot of ways treated me better than a lot of people in my life. I've learned so much, and I don't say that in a way to be, it's just the truth. It's just the truth of it all. And I think that in a lot of ways I would still probably think the way I thought if I didn't have the opportunity to be in community and to be in connection with people different than myself. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that, because I just realized even still how many things are just automatic in my head. Like I don't even think about it. And then something happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, pow. Oh my God, that's a racist thought. That's a shitty thought. Do you really think like that? You know? And then having to kind of like really think about it has been like, I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at with some of these things. Hi, Tina. Hi, Peter. Thank you, Peter. I'm reading you. I'm getting used to reading comments now too. Lewis, you're right. We all should do this. It's more effective than just writing a post, because there's no room to misinterpret. That's true. I mean, the truth is there's a lot in the in-between of words, and words mean so different to everyone. I mean, I mentioned this earlier, but I know like somebody who I really care about deeply is like all anti-mask, and all of a sudden like I take that as like a personal attack. But when I actually like talk with her about it, you know, I can learn all of the other things that she's doing to reduce her risk or to even protect others, or the fact that she's been wearing a mask for 4 months and she's an essential worker and she's just burnt out, you know, and she lives in a place and maybe it's not as big of an issue. So, I mean, there's just so much more around a situation. Like context is everything. And if we just decide to be hurt or come up with our own assumptions about something, we're not going to get anywhere. I know I'm not going to get anywhere that way. And I've seen some shit and I'm just like, I want to be like honestly, there was one times I'm like, really? Where do you find this shit? Like, do you really think this, like, it's just like, it blows my mind. And I wonder if I'm the same way to them. Where they don't understand and they can't get it. So that's really what I've been trying to do. There are some people that I don't need to be talking to, and I don't need to be hearing what they think. But there are many more people that are, and not just people that are singing the same song that I'm singing or walking the same walk I'm walking, but just like people who are willing to like be real. You know, I've had people come at me, mad at me, and I welcome that. Tell me like, and not in like a crazy way, just tell me. I want to know how I can be different. Like, I'm tired of living a life in which, like, we live one life. And as I get older, I'm just realizing how short it is and how important it is. And it's like, if I only get one chance, like, why wouldn't I challenge myself? Why wouldn't I grow? Why wouldn't I want to? And like, as a person of God, person of faith, person who believes that like I'm here and that we're all here to be with one another, like oneness, like we all are one. Like I believe that like wholeheartedly, and your betterment is my betterment. Your sickness is my sickness. Like that's just the chi. And until we can get to a place in which we're all well, we're going to be sick as a people. And that's something that we all get to own, and we all get to be a part of, and that we all get to try to challenge ourselves. And we can see that like things have changed, and in other ways we have some cancer, but in other parts of our body we are doing great, and we're finding ways to, you know, to take care of that. And hopefully we're doing that, you know, hopefully we're ripping that shit up, but we're also like being kind, and we're treating our wounds, and we're having compassion for others. I hope that I can continue to kind of lean into this discomfort, to share the blemishes, the blind spots that I've had in understanding of race, gender, politics, religion. I mean, there's so many different things, but right now I feel like the experience of race and the conversations around race and racism right now are really teaching me so much about so much. And I really appreciate, I don't know. Thank you, Lewis. Yeah, I mean, I hope that more people do talk about this. And I hope that if people, you know, you're not comfortable talking on this platform or anything like that, and maybe you're not even want to talk to me, like just talk to people and try to just talk to people. It's so hard because you can't stand for like hate, but I think we know what, I think if we really look at it, we know what's hate, and we know what's ignorance, we know what's fear, we know what's like, I think some people are just so stuck, and I say this because I'm totally that girl. Like I'm so stuck in like, it's freezing. I'm like so stuck in myself and my shit. Like to think about somebody else's is just like, it's almost impossible. Yeah, I feel like, is it still freezing? How long has this been going? I feel like I've been talking too long. I'm gonna head to International Cafe and get a coffee. Is anyone still there? Is anyone still there who wants to come on the call with me? Or the video with me? Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. I miss Chicago. It took me a while before... it took me for a while to realize that I do miss Chicago, but I do. Yeah, I have a few more minutes before I get to the coffee house if anyone wants to join me. Hi, Aunt Tina. How are you in Arizona? Got folks from Idaho, Arizona, Chicago on here, of the three. Yeah, it misses me too. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, that's one thing that I'm really missing right now is just travel. Like, I'm so like in a place where I just want to go see people, and I just quitting my job, and I'll actually have the opportunity to do that, but it's like, it's not a good time to travel. So, but yeah, I do miss that. What kind of coffee am I having? I'm probably gonna get a chai latte. Yeah, I'll probably get a chai latte. And one of my favorite coffee shops, International Cafe, I haven't gone to it in forever. It's just down the road from where I live. Now I'm talking about coffee, I'm sure that's, and walking. Let's see. maybe, well, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll just, nothing is coming to mind to speak about anymore. Just, I just, yeah, like, I'm glad that I have an opportunity and I have a space in which I can share what's going on in my head and my heart and my spirit, and find folks and connect with folks who can connect with me in those places and in that thinking, and continue to push me to grow and hold me when I'm hurting and I'm confused and all that sort of stuff. So just feeling really grateful at the moment. I don't know why, but I'm just feeling a lot of gratitude and connection, which is something I've, something that can elude me at times. So have a good day, Mike. I'm gonna hold you to that. Next time I will have you chime in. I will even bring you onto the screen. All right, I love you all. Thank you for taking the time to walk and listen to me talk this morning. Take care. I love you. Bye-bye.